All right. Well, hey, we got Seth Rogen on the phone from Pittsburgh, where Seth is actually shooting another movie. I'm Kristofor Brown, the co-writer, co-producer. So, Seth, you're going to play the movie back in your mind. And, you and I worked together first on Undeclared with Judd Apatow.
We did. That was a long time ago, and we've continued to work together. It's nice. We wrote a movie together.
Yeah.
We made it.
Yeah.
Did you really think they would ever make it?
I didn't know. Yeah. We had fun trying to come up with reasons why he was nicknamed Drillbit.
That's true, and it's in the movie, isn't it?
There's a few different versions. I mean, I remember there was an early version where he was in the first Gulf War, and
When he killed the guy with a drill bit.
well, I guess that sort of comes out in the movie. And then it was the time when he was like, I think he was supposed to be like a mechanic, and he actually went running into battle, and instead of grabbing his handgun, he grabbed a drill.
Oh, that's right. He grabbed a drill. That's
Yeah.
right. That would have been great.
Yes.
Remember, the one thing that I would say I wouldn't say I regret, but I kind of wish that we ended up shooting, but we never did, was when we written that you actually see Drillbit Taylor escaping from the army at the beginning of the movie.
I agree completely. I mean, we had this great setup. It looked like it was going to be Iraq, and
I know, and it looks like he's a hero, and then you realize, oh, what we just saw was him going AWOL.
Yeah.
Apparently, that wasn't economically feasible
Yeah.
to recreate a small part of the Gulf War.
Suddenly take our whole crew out to the desert for one day of shooting as Owen chases an airplane. And
we probably just kind of like re-edited footage from Jarhead and made it clear that's what it was.
Steve thought he had some footage of Owen running in behind enemy lines that maybe could have been used.
Oh, man, that totally would have worked. All Owen does in behind enemy lines is run.
Yeah. And then we also, you and I, in our early drafts, so that was, you open the movie with this dramatic action sequence as he catches this airplane. And then we go to the high school, and we don't even see Drillbit again until he shows up for the interview.
Yeah, that was kind of like a big thing, I remember. Like, we didn't want Drillbit to show up until like 40 pages into the script. And, apparently studio people think it's bad to have a giant movie star in a movie and not use him till halfway through, which I don't get personally.
I think it worked in Jaws, for example.
Exactly. Beetlejuice, that's what we would always talk about. I read online that Beetlejuice is only in the movie Beetlejuice for like a total of like 16 minutes or something like that. And that's what we kept saying to the studio, like, Beetlejuice is barely even in Beetlejuice. But they didn't buy that logic for some reason.
Yeah, so we had to retrofit that first act. And I think the first act maybe feels a little choppy at times because we're trying to intercut a whole lot of things going on. But
Well, yeah, because then what we always thought what the issue might be is you're kind of intercutting two seemingly completely unrelated things.
yeah.
But I guess they're related in the way that they're hilarious. That's how we settled.
Yes.
That's how we settled. They're both derived. They both are trying to be funny. So I guess that's a connection.
Yes. And they're both kind of getting abused. The high school kids are getting
It's
abused.
about people getting abused. That's very true. That's definitely true.
You wrote the rap sequence.
Yeah, I wrote the raps. During the Undeclared days, we spent a lot of time rapping, me and Jay Baruchel and Charlie Hunnam and Jason Segel. I think mostly because we just got a lot of downtime on a TV show, I guess. And it was also a subtle way for us to like express all of our repressed aggressive feelings towards one another. It's like we can really say all the horrible stuff we thought about each other if we rhymed it. So I had some experience writing rap. And Troy sells it. I gotta say, that kid's great.
Yeah.
He's a hell of a rapper. He's got rhythm. It worked out well.
Well, we actually hired a rap coach.
Really? There was a rap coach on set? Was the rap coach impressed with my lyrics?
Yeah, he tried to change a few words here and there, and I will say I always protected your words. I was like, no,
thank you.
do not change them. I was not willing to touch them myself, so I didn't want anybody else touching them.
That's very nice.
Well, do you remember your first rap that you wrote? The first one we really enjoyed. Do you remember it?
No, what was it?
It worked in references to Archie and Jughead.
Oh, that's right, Mr. Weatherby and stuff like that. It
Yeah.
was like an Archie-based rap.
And the big debate was whether or not today's teenagers get Archie references, which you, as a comic book fan, a man who spends time in comic book stores,
I think they do.
yeah.
I remember. Do you remember we had that like writers' roundtable, and there was a woman there who had written some other teen movies that I probably shouldn't name.
Yeah.
Not ones I think are good at all. And, I'll just say that. And she had very strong opinions, although she was a good 30 years older than myself. Very strong opinions as to what today's youth know reference-wise and pop culturally.
Yes.
And I wanted to choke her. That's all I remember thinking.
I thought Judd wanted to at one point as well.
And I
remember
was just going to kick her out of the. I thought like it would have been great if Joe was like, you know what, you could go home.
Yeah, I remember like, you know, if we had to mention the type of music that would be playing in a scene, it was always just as a placeholder. You know, as a writer, that you don't know what's going to ultimately make the movie.
What's going to be, you know, the big thing with that week?
Yeah,
and Fall Out Boy would come out.
Yeah, Fall Out Boy. And she's like, that is so last year. They would never listen to that. That's so over and done with. And I had to laugh because Fall Out Boy actually had an album come out about 2 months later that went right to the top of the charts.
Exactly. There you go. We were thinking proactively. She was thinking retroactively, I think.
But she really did act as the voice of authority there.
It's true. I would like to say, I hope you mentioned that the house at the end is the house in Lethal Weapon.
We did.
And I would like, I mean, did you talk about how much resistance we got at first from just the notion of ending the movie with a giant fight scene? That was something that I'm amazed that we actually were able to get away with in the end.
Yeah, it's funny. I mentioned how, you know, people were asking us, is there a way that we can just have the boys outsmart the bully?
Yeah, which just doesn't seem right.
And we tried.
We tried to have them outsmart. They were trying to coax them into a pit or like some Rain Corps type pit or something like that.
That's right. When we were still at the outline stage, we were treating Drillbit more as a Rambo-like character who could build these great snare traps out in the woods. And so they actually were taking some of those trap-making skills and setting him up in the courtyard of the high school. And it was just insane.
Just so outside the realm of what would ever happen in real life. Not to say, you know, it's the most 100% realistic movie ever, but you should kind of buy, you know, that, because it's also not about the bully saying like, oh, these kids are idiots, and then, oh, we'll outsmart him ultimately. I mean, the bully's not saying, oh, they're stupid. They could never set me up, because that was never it. He was saying they were wimps and losers, so the only way to prove that they're not is by kicking the crap out of them, I would think.
Yeah, there's only, you know, the more you and I read material on how you can deal with bullies in real life. I mean, we were reading stuff about, you know, avoiding bullies at all costs, or trying to confuse them or deflect them.
It's all stuff that would just make your life so much worse in reality.
Yes. And you and I personally felt that at a certain point, if a bully is so relentless, at some point you have to have a real confrontation.
You have to punch him in the face. And I think they didn't say it in the movies because, like, well, the bully will then just pick on the kid who won't punch him in the face, you know?
Yes.
Why pick on the kid who wants to punch you in the face?
Yes, exactly. I'll tell you, the audience votes. You know, when you see, you know, at those test screenings that we did, you know, when Drillbit steps in and does those amazing kicks, the audience went wild.
Oh, I would imagine.
Yeah.
It's, I don't think I was ever no, man, I was at one of the actual test screenings.
You were shooting Pineapple during some of that.
Yeah, we were shooting Pineapple Express as the testing process was going on for Drillbit Taylor, and
which, of course, you guys used Danny McBride, who was, you know, had a fairly small role in Drillbit Taylor, and who's unbelievable in Pineapple Express.
Yeah, he's really great. That guy's hilarious, and it's amazing he functions so well in a PG-13 rated movie. Because he's truly one of the filthiest guys of all time, maybe.
Yeah. Well, and remember, there were some other tweaks, too, that, you know, during the process of writing, such as you and I always envisioned that if Filkins had a weapon, it was a...
Oh, yeah, the samurai sword.
Well, that was, I thought that came from Judd. You and I always talked about a long stick with a nail through it.
Oh, that's right. Well, that's because when I was in high school, there was actually this crazy guy he threw a stick with a nail at it at my friend Dan Vertlieb, and it punctured his pants. I wasn't there when it actually, but I remember I saw him 5 minutes later. He had a hole in his pants. I was like, "What the hell happened?" He's like, "That crazy guy, he threw a stick with a nail in it at me," and it just seems so barbaric and weird. Like, why would you do that? But there was another guy that we went to school with, and the rumor was that he had a samurai sword in the trunk of his car.
Oh, okay.
And you kind of didn't want to mess with him because, like, oh, he might have a samurai sword, we heard. Which in Vancouver you can buy pretty much at your local convenience store if you want.
And when you and I were writing, we loved the idea that these rumors get spread about bullies on how far they've gone, that the legend grows always from, like, somebody saw him with the samurai sword to how many people he's killed.
How he's actually killed people with the samurai sword.
Well, there were other things, too, that I think, obviously from the difference between some of our scripts and the final movie is we had a lot more language in our script that we thought was more true to kids, especially like Troy's character. He swore a lot more.
Definitely swore much more. And what's funny is the studio asked me and Chris as writers, do a lot of research. We want it to be authentic, we want it to be real. We want people to see this and actually know that, it's based on things that actually happen in high schools every day across America. But, I mean, when you're going to portray a villain, that's what you do. You gotta make your villain villainous,
Yeah, the more evil we made him, you really loved it when he got his comeuppance at the end.
Exactly. You just knew he was going to get his ass kicked at the end.
And then, well, we also had Drillbit. Remember, we had him drinking beer and smoking cigarettes. Stealing beer.
That's true. That was the whole scene. Is the first time they pay him, he goes right into a convenience store and buys beer and smokes and lottery tickets.
Yeah. And later we even see him with binoculars in the woods, and you're not sure what he's looking at, and he's eyeing a beer delivery truck. And
Oh, that's right. He steals a big case of beer. Yeah, that was really funny.
Yeah.
But the sequel. If there was a sequel, what do you think it would be about?
If there
Maybe
was a sequel.
He goes back to Iraq.
I didn't see the new Rambo, did you?
Oh, I did. It's amazing.
Really?
Yeah, I loved it. Well, he kills literally, I'm going to try to give an accurate estimate of how many people he kills in the movie. I'm going to say 600.
Wow.
He kills a lot of people in that movie.
And do you feel good about most of those?
Huh?
Do you feel, as an audience member, do you feel good about most of those? Like they're justified?
You feel great. I mean, they set it up. It's kind of like a humanitarian wet dream, this movie. It's like just sets up the most awful, villainous people in like Burma or something that you could ever imagine, and they torture and they pillage. And then you just think it's like people you see in the news and you hear about these governments, you're just thinking, oh, the UN can't fix that. You just need a guy to go in and clean it all up. And that's what Rambo does.
There he is, an army of one.
An army of one. He really is an army of one. We should, if there could be like a Rambo Drillbit Taylor crossover movie or something like that. Maybe that would...
I would think Drillbit should go into the worst high school in America.
Hey, that's not like a Dangerous Minds kind of thing. Like a Freedom Writers. That's that's not bad.
Hey, thanks. Well, if Evan ever goes back to grad school and you want to write again.
Exactly. I'm in.
All right. Well, it sounds like I have to let you get back to the set of your movie, huh?
I'm going back to set.
Well, Seth, I had a blast working with you on this.
Yeah, you too, dude, and great talking to you again.
Yeah, you too. We'll see you when you get back out here.
Yeah, I'll be back in like a month.
All right, cool.
Awesome, dude. Have a good one.
Thanks, Seth. You too.
Peace.
Bye.
The only place that success comes before hard work is in the dictionary. Vidal Sassoon.
It's too bad we don't go to a Catholic school. Then we'd have summer for another 3 weeks. Plus, we'd get to learn about God. I hear he's pretty cool.
Oh, what the shit, man? Look at this. Look, you can melt this down. This is solid gold.
This is a cell phone.
Melt it down, make some fingernail clippers with it. Sell it. That's a camera.
Really? I think the lens and the button gave it away.
A Hummel.
Melt this
These
down,
are
this is
valuable.
gonna burn.
Who's Ball Skaggs?
No, that's Wade Boggs.
What's going on?
It's a universal remote.
What universe?
Who can tell me what STD stands for?
Something totally disgusting. Sore tingly dingly.
Sore tingly dingly. Sometimes it does.
Drillbit, you have gonorrhea. Just kidding.
Every year it's getting hotter. New record temperatures being set. It's 120 degrees, man.
The science on global warming is sketchy at best.
There, Siamese queers.
The politically correct term is conjoined queers. Bravo, Mr. Filkins. A well-designed prank. Very creative, Mr. Filkins. You're a genius. This is gonna be good on YouTube. God, I love high school.
You're looking a gift horse in the mouth and you're just gonna run?
What do you mean?
These kids are a cash cow. I know I'm using a lot of animal metaphors here, but it's the real deal, man.
In other words, don't kill the goose.
Don't kill the goose. Keep the goose alive. Take care of the goose.
You gotta slaughter the hog if you want to get the back
Slaughter
bacon.
the hog, but don't kill the goose.
You can shear a sheep as many times as you want, but you can only slaughter it once.
Have you been sitting in my chair?
No.
Because it's supposed to be on need percussion, and it's on compression.
I was never.
I never use compression.
I know, I wasn't.
You sure?
I swear, I never sit in
Because
a
it
chair.
won't jiggle me. You know, we should wrestle sometime. You know what? Just clear the lawn chairs and just go at it for a while.
I think I'll pass.
All right.
But thanks.
It's a nice family photo. Would you have chicken pox that day? Would you have something contagious that day?
Close-knit family. You kind of look like the odd man out there. What's the deal with this picture? No, it's nice. Who are these people in the picture with you? Mom's got nice gams. You know, twins supposedly have a psychic connection. Kind of creepy.
Dean, call security.
Hey, David Blaine. 14 more days and you'll have the record.
Dean, please. I can't stop being.
You think Mozart had a Game Boy? You think Bill Gates would have invented the computer if he'd been all the time on a computer? Paul Revere, does he make that ride if he has a cell phone? No. He'd text everybody.
Why can't I stop being?
No, this just occurred to me. Did you ever notice Brad Pitt's pretty hot?
No.
Come on, women like him. I'm sure some men like him.
Okay.
I'm an NWA, mom with attitude, biatch, and I am up in your grill. And let me tell you something else, mister. No Xbox, no PlayStation, no sugar, and no wheat, okay?
You guys know what's going on?
Two stupid freshmen challenged Filkins to a fight. Yeah, he threw a party so we could all watch him die.
Hey, the only one dying tonight is Filkins.
Now, how did this little baby happen?
I was playing kickball.
Kickball?
You swipe some deodorant?
Yeah.
Good for you. You never know when that high school stink's gonna kick in.
Yeah.
You dust your nuts?
Any new material, Jim?
You know what? That's not a joke. That's something serious. It'll prevent you from getting jock itch, which is a very uncomfortable Eddie, what's the matter with him? I've dusted the nuts for 25 years. No jock itch. We haven't showered together. You got hair down there? You wearing that shirt to school?
Yeah.
What do you think of the shirt, boys?
That shirt, essay. Where'd you get that? Baby Gap?
Yep, the jury's in. That shirt is not good.
I think exactly why I wore it.
Physically, I will dominate you until the day you die. You know that, right?
Jim. Yes, Jim. I know.
I'm just trying to make sure the boy knows his place in this house.
Well, that was a little anticlimactic. Oh! In the balls!
It's better to end on a high point, I think.
All right. Let's light this fuse and see what happens.
All right.
Hi, I'm T-Dog. Nice to meet you. Leslie Lauren. Oh, shit, sorry.
He's psychic T-Dog!
Stop! All right, get off my couch! You okay? You okay?
Yeah, I'm good, thanks.
Jeez. Oh.
Oh, let's do it again?
Oh,
sorry.
oh, you gotta say do it again before I hit, not after.
Give him a hug. Give him a hug.
Oh, jeez.
That's okay.
You okay?
That's okay. Come on.
Sorry.
I shouldn't have laughed at that. I shouldn't have laughed. Let's go. Come on.
Oh, I'm so verklempt. Can you tell me the truth, Woody?
Christ, what was that? Hey, lock it up.
Oh, no. Background and action.
I like your suit. Even a puppy?
Especially a puppy. Da Hundenfussen. What's it? Let's back up, sorry.
I'm coming for you. I'm coming for you.
Get back there. Get back there. I'm coming for you. Staring contest with your neighbor. Go. Staring contest. Staring contest, Troy.
What's a steering contest?
Staring. Oh, sorry.
Oh, I said steering.
Staring. Listen to me. I can't just kick his ass.
Sorry, just wait for the plane. Okay.
Here we go. That's Drillbit's brother. Drillbit. It's great. As long as you got a coffee mug in your hand, nobody says anything.
Yeah.
I heard better face than us.
Yeah.
Okay, come here.
And Castro, well, he knew he was never going to get a piece of Marilyn Monroe's ass. So that's the reason why he shot Kennedy.
No ass, please.
What the hell's going on?
No, get out. Get out. Get out. Still rolling. Do not close this door. Run in and scream what the hell's going on. You scream your line.
There's a bee. I'm not kidding.
Still rolling. You all right, Troy? You fine?
Yeah, there's a bee.
Get down in there. Get down there.
Okay.
Get down. We're rolling. It's on film. And get down. Get down. You fell. You fell. Action. Action.
Oh my God! Dad, what are you spazzing out?
Yeah, look at me, spazzing out. Next time, take the whole goddamn thing down.
No, please.
Come back.
Take him.
Come back. Hey, come back.
Please, no.
Just tell us the truth.
I need the truth.
I need the truth.
I hunger for the truth.
I hung up for the truth.
Hunger for the truth. Yell it.
I'm hungry for the truth.
We're so dead.
It's not bad. They took my Larry poster.
We'll get it back.
That's it!
Oh, no.
That's it!
Jim, come.
No one touches the Zonka! Nobody!
I'm sorry.
Mister, Vince Vaughn is funnier than you. I was supposed to say that.
Awesome!